Are the minor prophets a major mystery for you? I'm Mitch Kimbrell, one of the pastors at Christ Memorial Church. And if the minor prophets are for you kind of shrouded in mystery, it's easy to understand why. They're all 12 just kind of situated at the back of your Old Testament. They have funny names like Habakkuk, and really unusual stuff is going on in these minor prophetic books, like God telling a prophet to go and marry a prostitute, or a prophet getting swallowed up by a giant fish and somehow managing to be alive 3 days later. Well, what are these minor prophets about? Well, as Matthew tells us in quoting from Micah and from Hosea, as Luke tells us in quoting from the prophet Joel, as the apostle Paul tells us in quoting from minor prophets like Habakkuk and also Hosea, we see that the minor prophets are all about one thing. They're about what the rest of the Bible is about. They're about the Lord Jesus Christ. These minor prophets have a lot to say about judgment. And in doing so, they preach Christ because for all of his people, Christ came to earth and died on the cross to absorb the judgment that we deserve for our disobedience, the judgment that we see Israel suffering for its disobedience in the exile. We also see from the New Testament that this judgment in the minor prophets foretells of a greater judgment at the last day that Christ himself will execute on his enemies. So the judgment in the prophets preach Christ. They also preach of a coming kingdom and of the hope that ought to be found in thinking about that coming kingdom. Well, we know from the New Testament that the king of that kingdom inaugurated that kingdom when the Lord Jesus Christ came here to earth as a baby in Bethlehem. And that he's coming back one day as King of Kings and Lord of Lords to consummate that kingdom. So, as the minor prophets tell us of a kingdom that's coming and tell us to hope in that kingdom, they're preaching Christ as king of that kingdom. And of course, when you think about prophets at all, be they major or like these 12, the minor prophets, we think of the greater prophet who's to come, the one that Moses foretold in Deuteronomy 18, the great prophet of the nation of Israel, the Lord Jesus Christ. So I'm hoping that you're excited about going with us in these devotionals through a journey of the minor prophets. Let them no longer be a mystery. Go with us as we show them how they preach Christ. Have a great day.